Combat redemption, Kung Fu fitness. If we are a person who participates in any type of combat training, we should always ask ourselves, why am I doing this? And we should always have a sincere answer. Now, I'm going to assume that if you are in a combat training class, it is because your primary priority is self-defense. That would be sensible for anyone in any sort of combat training like boxing, kickboxing, judo, karate, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, or any class that prides itself on the use of techniques that were originally created for lethal combat, or in other words, killing. In this read, I'm going to talk about the importance of proper combat technique execution and how your neglect of it can later cost you your life when shit gets real. Loaning the martial arts. The fitness industry recently adopted the use of some of the martial arts techniques and names into their training formats. Basic techniques of the martial arts have been modified from their traditional development structures to fit into fast-paced, sweat-provoking, music-pounding workouts with the priority of burning calories and fat. This unannounced shacking up with the martial arts done by the fitness industry has brought more exposure and notoriety to the true martial arts, and admittedly has helped to get many out-of-shape, slacking martial artists back into even healthier shape. Fitness has brought colorful, sexy, sporadic outfits, expert nutrition, laughter, personality, more women, and beauty of the sculpted human body into the martial arts. It is fair to say that fitness has complemented the martial arts. Ninja aerobics. Fitness has given an exciting new life to the name of the martial arts. There isn't a fitness facility where you won't see classes for fat burn boxing, calorie kickboxing, MMA, calorie mash, etc. Even the treadmills and bikes in many fitness facilities have MMA or combat program setting names that have absolutely nothing to do with the martial arts. Fitness has done well with combining practical skills of the martial arts into their weight loss and muscle gain targeting programs. And this is a great way to do martial arts if your priority is to lose weight and tone muscle, but not if it is to learn true martial arts or self-defense. Don't get it twisted. As a committed fitness person and lifelong weightlifter, I am pleased with what the fitness industry has done with and for the martial arts. It is a great unity between two people empower entities whose specialties easily complement the growth of each other. But we must never confuse the martial arts training of a fitness class with the training of a real martial arts, just as we must never confuse the fitness exercises executed in a martial arts class with a true fitness targeting class. Each of them are what they are, and neither of them can offer the expertise that the other can. Respect must be maintained for position, or ego will corrupt the true fabric that makes each of them what they are. They will become lost in an ineffective bundle of mediocre movements that can be mimicked by any badly skilled person. Stand in your lane. The fun and excitement that the fitness industry has brought to the martial arts is more than fantastic for the purpose that it serves: fitness. It does not serve as martial arts or self-defense, even though the movements may be mimicked for exercise. For any form of training to serve as a real martial art, it must include the crucial element that no fitness gym or class could ever include. It is the crucial element that makes the martial arts the martial arts. The element that strips away the laughter, vanity, and fun that would immediately ruin a fitness class if it attempted to incorporate it. The element of death. Yes, death. Death is the reason for the creation and even practice of the martial arts. To protect self and others from an untimely death initiated by an attacker, and to initiate death upon an enemy when required. The purpose of martial arts education and training was to develop and practice the execution of techniques designed to stop and administer lethal force. Everything that circulated through and around the martial arts prioritized its existence on the ability to stop or bring death. And if it could not do either or both of those, it was not a part of the martial arts. Not your daughter's dance class. The required mindset during martial arts training is death. You are battling to fend off death or to deliver death against your enemy. Training consists of constant exercises and drills that bring you as close as possible to the experience of fighting with death as your motivator. Harsh lessons of physical pain, emotional stress, mental discomfort, and humility are issued to strengthen and progress the student. Nothing is ever done in the martial arts to entertain, satisfy, comfort, sell, apologize, or patronize. Every effort is sincere towards its purpose of lethality, or it is not the martial arts. Don't cross intentions. If we want to acquire the intended maximum result of the martial arts when training with its techniques under its name, we must train with its mindset. The techniques of the martial arts are not the tossing around of arms and legs to sweat, have fun, or any other purpose besides to practice facing death. We must never sloth through our assignments while watching the clock with hopes that everything will end soon. The martial arts can never degrade its honored life-protecting and taking techniques by neglecting and sacrificing skilled execution to serve a lesser purpose. Maintain purity. When training as a true martial artist, our mind must be focused on executing each individual technique in the same manner that we want to execute it when facing a lethal threat. The discipline will program our muscle memory to execute the technique just as we do in training when under the pressure of an attack. It also will increase our technique, speed, precision, and contact power. Preparing for hell. This proper way of martial arts development training conditions the mind to command the body to execute trained skills when under real-life pressure without hesitation. The average and even above average person normally will freeze or panic when shocked by the brutal approach of a real criminal intended on delivering merciless harm. Even though an initial shock is normal for everyone, the state of stand frozen and afraid occurs because that moment is new to the brain, and it does not have an accessible thought to go to while at that emotional state, so it freezes. Real martial arts training envisions these fears while under the pressures of pain, fatigue, and discomfort to desensitize the mind from freezing when pressured or upset. The brain is trained to instead go into a state of primitive, violent combat execution towards the threat. The properly trained martial arts student becomes a lethal threat to the one who chooses to threaten him or her. And having said that, we have to, you see a lot of fitness, boxing, even sport, boxing, kickboxing, martial art classes, they're really using those names to make a draw of people who want to go work out and get in shape, for appearance reasons, and think that they're learning how to defend themselves at the same time. Now, having said that, almost anything can work as self-defense. This right there can hit somebody and make them go, ow, and I can run off and I've defended myself with it. But that is not the martial arts, and that is not structured self-defense training. Structured self-defense training has to be done at a self-defense school or a martial arts school. You cannot learn self-defense from a fitness instructor who is not trained directly and certified by some authority in self-defense or martial arts. Just because they've got you hitting a pad or kicking a pad, yes, you could hit someone and kick someone with that, and it might work for you, but it's not an almost guaranteed. When you train in the martial arts and self-defense, it is a 99% guarantee that you are going to be able to hurt this person who's a threat to you, because the first thing you're going to do is learn how to read when that person is even becoming a threat to you. And that's something that you do not learn in a fitness class. Fitness boxing, fitness kickboxing, they never talk about awareness. They will never teach you how to read an intimate assault. You don't learn positioning. You don't spar. You don't get pushed past the limit where you're upset, you're angry, you're discouraged. They don't want to discourage you. They want you to come back, keep buying that class. So they're going to patronize you, cheer you on. That's not what happens in a real self-defense situation. You are not getting cheered on. You're getting degraded so they can break you down. So martial arts and self-defense teaches you how to respond when you feel afraid, when you feel at a disadvantage, and you're not going to learn that in a fitness class, even though martial art fitness training is great exercise, great for burning fat, and even great for building reflexes, speed, and things like that. But if you're looking for the self-defense, you both have to keep respect, maintain respect for each other, maintain respect for what type of instructor that is. fitness instructor is not a martial art instructor. Martial art instructor, you can get fitness from martial arts. Just like, well, first of all, I am a fitness instructor also. But as a martial artist, you can get fit in the martial arts, doing martial arts. All right, but that's not a martial art instructor who doesn't know fitness is not going to be able to get you as fit and as structured and as do it as well as a fitness person who's trained and certified to get you fit. They both have their own areas and they need to stay in their path.